All right, Roach. I'm stirring the gravy again.
They say it's gonna be 100 degrees, even more maybe. But that won't stop the road. Who's gonna make the gravy?
I make the gravy. Roach delivers the roast. Who are you roasting today?
Oh, I'm going to get very nostalgic.
Oh,
very romantically nostalgic. It's
will
an
I tear
ode.
up? Will I tear up?
You might, because it seemed to affect you yesterday. Because this is an ode to the humble match report.
Okay. I love it.
So, Kim, today we roast the demise of a grand old ritual of our lives, the humble match report. You mentioned the joy you found on Saturday by unfolding the paper to read the match review of the Crows' internal trial at Port Lincoln on Friday evening, complete with how the teams lined up and changed. Now, it is a lost pleasure, isn't it?
Yeah.
The match report of the weekend's footy games is gone, sadly replaced by a smorgasbord of 5 key points from the match that has had saturation coverage on radio, television, and now that life-changing digital space, the internet. It's been a slow and painful death. Now, those of us with ink in our veins were told in the late 1970s that match reports were on death row when the fans were glued to television screens. Remember the big replay?
Was part of it? Oh, Roach. Oh, that was late 80s.
But great writers, such as All-Australian West Torrens goal-kicking hero Jeff Kingston,
And you.
thank you, found a way with his creative talent to make you still want to pick up the paper on Monday morning to read his view of a game played 36 or 48 hours earlier. Now, he kept the match report relevant and alive. Now, that is a skill.
Yep.
4 decades later, not only has the match report vanished, so have the great writers who've made the match reports a must-read ritual the morning after a game. The sad parade of losses from the press box continued last week with 2 giants of sports writing, Michael Lynch from the World Game and Peter Laylaw from cricket, leaving Fairfax and News Corp empires respectively. And we wish them well with whatever their next phase of life is. The experience and talent lost to the media ranks during the past 5 years is quite a tragedy for sport, for the fans and the young aspiring journalists who need great mentors. We've all had them in life. I had some magnificent mentors when I entered the Advertiser.
Well, why don't you afford some of your time to some of these youngsters, Roach?
Why not?
Taking all your knowledge to the grave. Stop charging them.
The match report died recently when the media bosses started to say the sporting public doesn't have the time to digest a deep and meaningful read on a football game. Kim, you might have been the exception to the rule on Saturday. Now, when the New York Times shut down its sports section last year, a columnist in Washington wrote of the public's modern habits. He said, results and statistics are available in real time. You get them on your phone. Waiting for scores and standings to appear the following morning is now like a black and white silent movie in a TikTok world. That's where we're at. So did you miss the game? Why read about it? Here are the highlights direct in your inbox for you to watch whenever you want. There they are. You've caught up.
The highlights don't tell you the story, though.
Exactly. Now, people say it's as simple as that. All you need to know, or someone has decided you need to know, can be put in a 45-second highlight package you can watch on your phone, your laptop, your desktop while you're using the boss's internet. So the match report became doomed. It is doomed. But here's the key question, Kim. In 10 or 20 years' time, when someone wants to know what actually happened at Adelaide Oval in round 10, where will they go to find those well-written match reports? They're not going to be there. So we have lost one of the greats of our sporting rituals, haven't we?
Yeah, well, I enjoy it. And, you need to value the person's opinion that's writing the articles. I haven't cut you off here, have I?
No,
that's it.
no, I love your
that was
feedback.
nice, Roach. But what it should get back to, like when I read what Simeon had put, it updated me because there wasn't a lot of vision. It was on the Crows website. But it told me who played in which side, when they switched over, how many minutes each player got. So I found it informative. And I still find reading about games informative if people have a valued opinion. Like if someone says to me why they persevere with player X at centre half back when he's clearly not big enough, strong enough, it's the 3rd week he's played there, I think, that person's watching, he's attentive, he's got a fair point. So I think people that really love the game value opinions like that and the true match report. And then as a player, of course, if you don't make the best players, God,
Oh, we've heard your stories there.
crikey.
Can you still have those visions? I had
Alan
them-
Shield came up there one day.
Oh,
Rooch.
now.
He'd had a few frothies.
Now.
You kicked a couple. I said, I kicked 5.
I still have visions of going to school, Woodville High,
Yep.
catching the train at Albert.
See,
Monday
a lot of
morning
people question that.
that I went to school.
Yeah.
I tell people I went to the remand centre, but anyway. But Monday mornings, people with the big broadsheet of the Advertiser trying to fold it on a train because they wanted to read about the footy on a Saturday. And that was something amazing. The game was 48 hours old. And craftsmen such as Jeff Kingston. Did I ever tell you about the one that really, like, he'd seen Port Adelaide and South play at Albert and Oaks. South had won, a rare thing. And he's going, well, how can I write this about the shock, the horror that Port Adelaide fans had at losing to South at home? I mean, that's not supposed to happen. And I've got to deliver this theme 48 hours after the game. Anyway, he started his match report about how he had watched a father and son who had gone to the game, you know, that traditional thing, Port Adelaide, and how angry the father was. And then the son having to be having this perplexed thought, but then coming to understand the generational thing of understanding what losing at Albert meant. You know, he led his match report with that. Do you reckon the outrage we got? The switchboard lit up at the Tiser because he took that theme, but he made people read. He made people read about a game that was 48 hours
Very
old
good
and
journalist.
understand what this game was all about.
And a very good footballer too.
Yes.
Number 10, wasn't he?
Yes, and cut down.
You didn't even, you weren't confident.
Cut down by
Knee injury, yeah. He was number 10 for West
Yep,
Ham.
I just got
Pretty
this vision
sure.
of him.
Remember that as a
From
little
Wagga
kid.
Wagga.